What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast number 2 of the Uncensored Perception with Dr. Will, Mitchel Madak, and today we have Coach Mary, and Coach Anthony, or Coach Tony, from the Positive Pineapple on the show today. Say hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing,
Hi.
Will? We're glad to be here. I talk about some things.
Yeah, today's going to be awesome. We're going to get into, obviously, what Coach Tony and Mary do on a daily basis and also do in your business, right?
Yeah.
So really awesome stuff. So who is Tony and Mary? Who are these people sitting in my living room?
So basically what we are is a wellness practice. We're based in Westlake, Ohio. And what we like to do is try to train people mostly how to breathe, better breath work, better breathing. Because through better breathing, you can actually change your mindset towards things.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to do, is reach out as far as possible and spread positivity as far as possible across humanity.
Yeah.
And so me and Mary started doing this, I don't know, a little over a year now that we started really getting into this and helping other people with it. And then we decided through our friends that we were basically teaching, that we didn't really even know we were teaching. We were just sharing our experience with breathing and cold water immersion. And the changes that happened were just so vast. They started telling us, and telling me in particular, hey, you should get out there and you should talk to more people about this. Because when you're talking me about it, I feel like you're doing a good job of helping me understand.
Yeah.
And at that time, I didn't really believe them, but I started to pursue that. And as I pursued that, my reality started to unfold, and as it happens, I just kept growing and decided to keep helping people. Yeah. And so we're both certified life coaches, me and Mary, and we also are wellness coaches and mindset coaches, because that's another big thing we like to do besides just the breathing in the cold water. Those kind of practices open up the mind to be able to accept different states of mindset training.
Yeah, I love it. And obviously, Mitchel and I, we met you guys at a polar plunge. We did the Slak CLE polar plunge.
Right.
Back in, I think it was December.
It was December, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep having the October in my head, but I'm like, it was way too cold to be October. Yeah, that was definitely December sometime.
Yeah, Mary, how you found
a mutual friend that Will and I had that we didn't even know that we had. She was aware of what we were into, and she sent me the invite to the Slak CLE polar plunge, and that's how we ended up meeting and running into you guys, and it's been
and there's no such thing as mistakes, right?
No.
There's no such thing as
Coincidence.
mistakes, and here we are. Now we're on a podcast, and we're on Uncensored Perception, and that's exactly the kind of things that we're into.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a sweet little promo out for Vanessa.
Yes.
Vanessa Loebsack is
Yes.
actually a hairstylist at Crossa Salon down in
Tremont.
Mm-hmm. So she cuts my hair. She's amazing. So if you get an opportunity and you're out there and you're listening and you need a haircut, go to V.
Absolutely.
Go to V.
Super positive, beautiful person.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
So she was the bridge to us, all connecting. Well,
Yes.
us, you and Mary and Anthony. Yeah. Us connecting, and then obviously Mitchel and I connecting through chiropractic and stuff like that. So, but yeah, coming together that day. We had talked earlier about how a year ago I was on the hunt for breath work type stuff, right?
Yeah.
Posting it out on Facebook, asking people, hey, do you guys know a breathwork person? And Mary, like we were talking about earlier, it took a year for that to manifest at the right time when it was supposed to happen. So talk to us about, breathwork and what, you say breathwork, hey, yeah, we're all breathing, right?
Right.
But what is breathwork? What is it all about?
Well, breathwork, what it is, it's conscious, focused, dynamic breathing. So basically, what you're doing is you are using your physiology and your nervous system in a different way. And by doing this attenuates a whole cascade of changes throughout the body. So the main idea with breath work is to some people call it hyperventilation, which I would never consider it that. Hyperventilation to me seems like something that you have no control over, whereas this is superventilation. You're on purpose causing yourself to ventilate. And by doing this, what this causes is the body to oxygenate at a cellular level. So you're really oxygenating the body at a very high rate. And as you're breathing in and you're doing these, we'll do a little one here. We'll do a demonstration. But as you're oxygenating the body, you're also lowering carbon dioxide in your bloodstream. And so when this happens, you're having this huge gas exchange in your body that doesn't normally happen. And then we go into a retention. And then so while you're doing a breath retention, that oxygen level starts being taken up, and then your carbon dioxide level starts raising. And as your carbon dioxide level raises, that gives you the urge to breathe. It's not the lack of oxygen, it's the overabundance of carbon dioxide that causes the urge to breathe. And then so but you're also training that ability. You're training the ability to become more carbon dioxide resistant. Because a lot of studies show that our breathing actually affects our thinking on many different levels, and actually can attenuate changes in your thinking and reaction to your reality. So by oxygenating the body and causing this change, what happens is your blood becomes alkaline for a short period of time. It depends on the person, but somewhere between like 10 and 15 minutes after you do your breath retention, you're going to be alkaline. And when your blood's alkaline for this period of time, it washes away out of your bloodstream a lot of inflammatory markers and things, and it becomes a very healing process, the oxygenation of the body. So that's the main idea. What is breath work? It's the main idea is to oxygenate the body, and secondarily through doing it, you're also training your nervous system, which is super important. Because this is how you connect to your life. You connect to your life through your nervous system. This is how you perceive all things of the world. This is what reality is for you. Like, reality just isn't something you are in. You're perceiving it through your nervous system, your instrument. So the idea is to soup up the instrument.
But let me ask you this. So breath work, obviously we're oxygenating the body. And we live off of oxygen, obviously, right? So if nobody knows yet, right, we live off oxygen. So being super oxygenated, so if I was dealing with something, right, anxiety or COPD or depression, insomnia, what else? What else would I be dealing with that breath work?
General inflammation.
Asthma.
Asthma. Yeah, I personally recovered personally. That's part of one of my personal accomplishments through this for myself, and what it's given me is I actually was suffering from like kind of mild to medium COPD issues, which that's basically emphysema. It's early emphysema. So I was to a point where I had a hard time sleeping. I'd be wheezing. Mary would I'd be waking her up all the time with me moving around and making noise, wheezing. I'd be worried that it would cause, this was causing anxiety and depression. I got to a point where I couldn't handle my job anymore, my other job. I'm an HVAC guy, and I was out there and I was having a hard time handling that. So it was bringing me to tears. Like at times, like I felt as if I'm just going to suffocate to death. I'm not going to have any life anymore. And so that basically led me to a pretty bad depression and a lot of anxiety, wondering what's going on. And that's what kind of led us to breath work, is looking for change. I knew something in me, my higher self knew that somehow I could recover. And I just had to find the right thing. And then so what that got me to do is start looking for information, start understanding my body and my health and what's going on, and maybe the causes and the things. And so that led me to, hey, maybe it has something to do with the thinking mind.
And that's another episode in and of itself. Here, we're gonna try to stay surface level for most people and kind of talk about the breath work. And obviously, you guys are doing polar plunge, so we know that breath work helps with any pretty much ailment in the body, right? Learning how to breathe correctly, and putting oxygen into your body, obviously releasing tension from the system, relaxing the muscles, all that good stuff allows for things to flow freely, right? Chemicals, toxins, good stuff.
Your endocannabinoid system.
System.
I mean, it lights you up all over the place.
Sorry, not DHT.
DMT.
DMT.
Yeah,
right?
activates DMT within the body. It's naturally occurring within the lungs and the pineal gland. Normal things. Some people have even, some people, Dr. Will, in fact, has some pretty psychedelic experiences, and I think that has a lot to do with Dr. Will's nervous system, because like I was saying before, this whole thing happens through your nervous system, and since Will does a lot of balance training, his nervous system is kind of tuned up. He's got a good spark plug, and so when he lights it up with his breathing, he has a really deep response, and I've witnessed him have some really deep responses, and it's nothing short of amazing. I've been doing this for a while now, and I really enjoy helping people. We just had a guy over last Sunday, and we helped him connect to his consciousness, to see someone connect, to awaken for the first time, to realize that my thinking is causing this through his breathing. But
you know that one time, so I 100% am a believer, obviously.
Breather and believer, yeah. Breathe and
believer.
believe. That's a great way I like to look at it. Breathe and believe. Anything's possible.
You know, because almost 2 years ago, I was on that journey of, hey, I got to get myself out of pain. I hurt my back, trying to figure out how can I do this. I'm going to a chiropractor. I'm doing everything that I know to get done. Obviously, I'm a chiropractor as well, but nothing worked. And when I started slacklining, that was the catalyst. That was the part that, you know, fixed my pelvis, or really I think it just fixed my brain, and my brain fixed
That's
my
what's
pelvis.
happened, yes.
Right? It tuned my brain, and then, you know, within 2-3 months afterwards, I quit drinking. You know, I was an alcoholic. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You're a functioning alcoholic. You can party, but you can still do your thing. You can be of service to people. But I quit drinking, and then obviously met you guys with the breath work. And the breath work has taken me to a new level. So if people are listening and they're like, hey, what's breath work? How can that help me? Well, it helped a guy who was already, you know, physically fit, doing well, eating well, doing all these great things. But I was able to take breath work and go to another level. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're on the base, if you're on the bottom, you know, this is still going to help you, and it's going to probably help you even more, obviously, drastically.
It helps anyone, even if you feel like you don't perceive any issue with your life and you're happy with it. There's nothing wrong with being more tuned to what you are, tuning your nervous system to the quantum field.
Yeah, and we'll segue into the cold water plunges. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, I want to
jump in, but it's a podcast.
Yeah, but I also want to be coming off as that guy that's always cutting people off either. It's kind of hard. It's hard to do that sometimes with this. So for people that are maybe less familiar with how just important the whole nervous system comment is that you said, it's just like we are. And I love how you describe this. I'll definitely be kind of throwing it to you to say this. So you are always experiencing your reader, your antenna, your nervous system of what's going on around us. So it's really important to be polishing and working on preserving the highest function of your nervous system, because that is the limit of where your nervous system at is the limit of how much you can experience and feel of life.
Right.
We're always missing stuff if we're not taking care of it. Like, so throw back to you were saying like alcoholism and stuff, like that's got to be pretty darn destructive at the time on the nervous system, right? Like alcohol and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely. I was an alcoholic too for quite a period of time, but I stopped drinking before I learned about breath work. But I think the whole reason why that happens, like how with Will, is his nervous system started improving, his connection. So the way I perceive all of this is like we're connected to an energy field. We are of this energy field. Mm-hmm. And the better that you have control over your nervous system, because for me, what I teach people is the breath is the captain of the mind. So when you take control of the breathing, you take control of the mind. And when you take control of the mind, you have more control of everything that happens around you through your reactions and emotions. All of a sudden now you create your world. That's exactly. You create your world. You know this, Mitchell, more than anyone else.
Yeah, Mitchell
has a song called You Create Your World. And I heard it and I kind of spit out my soup when I saw it. I was like, he gets it. I know. He knows.
Yeah.
He's of the knowing. So.
If you guys don't know yet from the podcast.
My bad.
Mitchell is a singer-songwriter, producer, all that good stuff, anything music, so to speak. But he has obviously songs and stuff like that out. And that one, is that the name of it?
Yeah.
You Create Your World.
You Create Your World, yeah, that's right.
Me and Mary sat there like, oh wow, that's great. Like, this is right after we met him, you know?
Yeah.
Sort of like we all met and I'm like, oh great, like more because this is what we were looking for. We're looking for more conscious people.
Yeah.
And that's where we ended up. We manifested each other.
Oh, 100%.
Is what's happened.
100%.
It's not one of us doing it. We're doing this together. It's collective.
And the folks who are listening to this have manifested their situation of listening to us.
Correct.
And we manifested them.
There are no mistakes.
There are no
Grand
mistakes.
design. Everything is meant to happen. And I was kind of having a talk a little bit before we started the show. Some things that are really helpful to a lot of people is basically not resisting your reality, being non-resistant to change. We are so programmed into believing that everything should stay the same, and traditions and all these things. We actually stymie our growth. We stop it from happening. And that's by design. That's why they've introduced these things to us, this control function, this control form. Because as long as they keep you from being outside the box and staying in this routine of, I'm not enough.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole message out here in the world anymore, that they're trying to make you believe that you're not enough and you don't have enough, and keep you looking forward to the next thing, the next great thing that can make you happy, that can make you whole, looking outside of you. Except for being it, you are it. You just have to see. You just open the
That
see.
actually plays into a conversation that Will and I were just talking about before we started the podcast, about how many people out there are holding themselves back from being an entrepreneur and creating their
All of
own
them.
business.
All of them,
Right?
yeah. That's
Because
the answer.
we're made to feel like we gotta sacrifice our lives to make that money, to pay the bills, and we're stuck in jobs that aren't making us happy, and we're not doing things that fulfill our souls. And that's one of our goals, is to teach people how to release those restraints and
Fear.
how to
Fear.
overcome the fear of stepping out of your comfort zone and trying something new. Try something, even if you're in a job and you need to keep the job currently to keep the income rolling. Start spending some time and energy when you're not at work to actually start something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Create, do something that you feel brings you happiness
Right.
and positivity into your life. And that will, if you continue to focus on that, that will continue to grow, and you will continue to go down your own path where you'll get to a point where you'll be ready to start your own business and do your
100%.
own thing and help people. You're going to help other people by what you're doing. There's always people out there that are looking for what you're creating.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we do. That's what we're doing. We're here, these things, and that we can segue into cold water there. Cold water, a great thing about cold water is learning how to handle fear. That's what it's about, and that's its primary function. So there's tons of physical things, but that's not really about our perception. And we could talk quickly about the physical things. The physical things greatly. Another thing that I've helped heal myself with is I had like a malignantly high blood pressure, like 180 over 100 and above. It's basically hypertensive crisis is basically where I was sitting at. So I was able to, through cold water and learning about cold water and how it affects your vascular system, was able to reduce my blood pressure. It took me about 8 months of practice. And because what happens is when you get into the cold water, you have 80,000 miles of blood vessels in the body. You could wrap that around Earth 4 times. So when you get in that cold water, they all constrict. And it shoves all the blood to the middle of the body. This oxygenated blood that usually, because most people, they do a breathwork session before they get into the tub. So now you're oxygenated, you're removing all kinds of free radicals from the organs and causing cell regrowth. All kinds of awesome stuff's happening on the physical level. Improving your immune function, another great thing, especially in this time and age that we live, is through breathwork and cold water. You can totally improve your immune function. Me and Mary have not been sick one time. And we used to be generally sick people with sinus problems and headaches and even all kinds of different issues besides these like tough physical issues. But it's just, I'm living proof, and that's why I want to help. You can overcome anything. I believe that wholeheartedly. I mean, that you can just overcome anything. And the cold water helps you understand that. Just by getting in the cold water, you actually are accepting being uncomfortable just for this short period of time, accepting it. Getting in there, overcoming your body's response, your mind's response to run. Because you get in the cold water, the body, the first thing it wants to do is go into cold shock. Fear, get out of here. It's perceiving danger. But what you can do is train your mind to take control, train your nervous system to take control of your physiology.
Mind over matter.
Right, that's what that
Absolutely.
means. This teaches you effectively, physically, right in front of your face, how to handle stress is what it's doing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that's a great thing that we do, is try to teach people, because that's what's happened to us. We've eliminated our fear, And now we're like, and it's becoming more and more. It's snowballing and rolling. And I'm to that point where I was talking about, where you just need to accept what's going on and roll with it. It will kind of, your reality will open up for itself. That's what's happening to me. I love what I do now. I love the kind of stuff. This is great.
And in regards to the cold exposure, you only need 2 minutes for the full health benefits. To get the full benefits out of the cold hydrotherapy, you only need 2 minutes.
What about cold showers? Talk about cold showers. How long do you need with cold showers?
And how cold does it need to be too? I'm curious.
Below 60 degrees. So below 60 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature which you need for which you're looking for to get the most effects to your body. Now, any water temperature below your body temperature can still take heat away from you. And this is what makes cold water so effective, even more so than cryotherapy. Cryotherapy is a big thing now, and it's got its place and everything, but it's not going to unite you to your soul like this is going to, because it goes much deeper. And the reason why that is because water transfers heat 25 times faster than air. And the reason why that is because water is about 800 to 830 times more dense. So it has much more molecules packed together. Right. So it's pulling the heat off your body much faster. So the cold water goes much deeper into the physiology of the body. Like, so the colder the water, the more intense, the more you're going to close down your vascular system and tight into the middle of the body. Because you're actually, this is what this stuff is. It is stress, but it's called hormetic stress. Like, this is willful stress that you're willing to attach to and improve upon.
Like lifting weights, you're putting stress on the muscle to grow it,
Absolutely. It's the same. It's conditioning. You're deconditioning what's not for you and reconditioning what is you. That's basically that's our plan. That's our goal. That's what and it's working. We're helping people every day. We're like blown away. We can barely even comprehend it sometimes. Like, can you believe how many people, every day we get some messages, people tell, and the great thing is, and these are just the people that come forward and tell us that we're influencing them in some way. But then every so often someone creeps in that you had no idea about, to tell you about it. So that shows me that it's not just the people that are directly watching us that we know we're helping, it's the hundreds attached to them that we don't know about. The shock wave that we put out into the consciousness field.
Yeah.
What we put out into the quantum field, because we create, just like in your song, we create our world, and that happens through our thinking, and our nervous system attachment to this field, to this in which we live. Because it's like we're not in nature, we're of nature. Yeah. We're made of everything that surrounds us.
Yeah, I always like to tell people, the better you become, the better your surroundings become.
Yeah.
Right. Things elevate to the level of the person in the room, so to speak, right? When you become a better person, other people want to become better, and they don't even know why. They're just like, man, I feel like I should go to those plunges with that guy. I feel like I should join in on a breath work with Mary and Anthony. Like, they just feel like they need to start doing something a little bit better. Right. And that's the beauty of working on yourself.
It's funny that you say that, because it works the same way with negative energy.
100%.
Yeah.
And working
100%.
in an office full of women all the time, you get different types of energy. And I've always been more of a positive person, and I can feel people's negative energy. I've always been able to, and I think that it's easier for our default mode to recognize and agree with negativity. Yeah. Because we're not thinking, we're not paying attention. It's so easy to just decide to be more positive. Just make the decision. Drop the negativity. Drop being involved in those types of conversations and around those types of people. It drains you of your positive energy.
There's no doubt.
And when you make that decision to just start looking at things more positive and start doing and being around people that are more positive, your life will change.
Yeah, and it's kind of wild, because the change comes from within, but then your environment changes.
Because you're connected to it.
So a lot of people will say, oh, these people are the problem, right? Everything outside of me is the problem.
But you.
But it's funny, soon as you make a change on the inside, what happens to the outside world?
Everything changes.
Changes.
Wow, John or Tim is just a little bit nicer to me today, or my ex.
You're
my son's
becoming
mother
more
is a little bit
accepting.
nicer.
You're
Yeah.
accepting your
Right.
reality. Like I was saying earlier, accept your reality. Accept what's happening. The more you accept and don't tell yourself psychologically, this should not be happening.
Yeah.
Why me? When you're doing that, you're just giving your energy away. Your power is to look at whatever it is, even if it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You look at it and you find what within it doesn't suck, because there's always something.
Well, the funny thing is that what I've learned on this journey of looking at things as all things are a positive, it's kind of wild because all things are
a positive,
can be positive,
Yes.
right? Even
Yes.
a flat. I mean, like
You're
I always
paying
feel the
attention
flat
to
tire,
it, right?
but it's like anything has now given me a greater awareness of that moment in time, or give me a greater awareness of whatever it was. So now I've learned a little bit more, and now I've become a better human being because of that awareness, right?
And it
I mean,
goes,
obviously it goes deep.
it goes with the rule of energy. What you resist persists, because what you feed grows. Like that's one, like the fundamentals of You By You Create Your World show and song and everything that I've tried to, and I am, accomplishing and trying to do from here forward. What you feed grows. So when you're focusing on the things you don't like about the moment or anything, that's the part of it in which you're going to get more of.
Right.
Because that's the part you're focusing on.
Right, because
So
if you wanna
it's
focus
where
on-
where your awareness goes, energy flows.
Exactly.
You know?
Boom, love that.
And that's the best way to understand it. Where your awareness goes, the energy flows.
30, probably 30.
And so the positive pineapple. The reason why we named it the positive pineapple too, a lot of people ask us about that. Like, so what is this positive pineapple? The pineapple signifies the pineal gland.
Oh,
So that's what the pineapple is all about. It's about enlightenment. That is basically what we are a wellness practice, and we're trying to spread human consciousness is what's happening, and basically the unlocking of the pineal gland. So that's a lot of science to get into. That's probably a different podcast,
Yeah.
but that's the whole idea. That's why we're the positive pineapple. Because for me, what happened to me was I basically, through my illnesses, hit rock bottom. I hit a place where I wasn't sure I wanted to continue. And then my higher self stepped in, God stepped in and said, hey, why don't you just try thinking only positively, like as Will's saying right now, what he understands now, God was telling me.
Right.
What the universe was telling me, however you want to look at it, was telling me, hey, try this. And as I did that, I was able to step back and look at everything, my abusive childhood, all the challenges I ever faced that I was holding negative emotion for, or dark or heavy energy within the body. You hold that stuff when you don't face it, when you don't, because having awareness is one thing, being aware of like, hey, I have a behavioral issue that's stopping me from getting somewhere. I'm getting triggered. And that's great to have the awareness, but if you just push it away with your awareness, it'll come back. The challenges always repeat themselves until you learn how to become non-reactive.
Exactly.
Right?
And
So it'll keep coming back.
That's the difference in the thing, like maybe some people already listening maybe have thought of in the back of their mind. The whole toxic positivity thing. There's a huge difference between what we're talking about and the toxic positivity. Toxic positivity would be refusing to accept or put mind or learn from any of the bad stuff by just rejecting it and pretending it doesn't exist.
Right.
We're quite literally saying embrace it. Don't resist that. Put your energy into, focus into where you want to go, and learn, transform the other energies. They all, the shadow and the light thing. I know I like to think non-dualistic as much as possible, but they both are parts of the same whole.
They are. There really is no negative or positive. That is through our perception.
Right.
It's just happenings. It's just steps. There is no failure, just steps to where you're going. So so it takes you 20 times to make something right. You could say you had 19 mistakes. Or you can look at it and say, hey, this was 19 steps to get to the 20th to what I was looking for.
Yeah.
That's the more of the truth. There is nothing wrong. You're in control. You create your world.
It's always learning.
All right.
All right, cool. So let's. Where can people go to find you guys? Where can people?
We're
go?
available on Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram. We have a YouTube page. We'll throw some links into the description here. We'll link up a video to our cold shower tutorial and our introduction to breathwork. We have a link to one of our Slak CLE classes, so people can kind of get a look at that and see what we have going on there with you. And
website coming soon.
Yes, website.
Thepositivepineapple.org.
Yes.
That's getting close to coming out,
Yep.
so that'll be nice, and then we'll have more connectivity with people.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking to do, and just keep spreading. We're going to try to do more and more virtual learning and energy exchange, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I love it.
It's
We also obviously we do that breathwork and balance fitness class on Friday nights at 6 p.m.
Great class. I love it.
That's awesome. We sold out last class. We're gonna have to get more Slack. But we sold out. So if you're thinking about getting in this week, I would 100% do that. We'll put a link to that in the video as well.
And it's a great combination, a great way to really I'm a big proponent of working the nervous system, as you've heard me talk through this, and it goes a lot deeper. We can go a lot deeper into that. But yeah, these are two things that definitely complement each other with training your nervous system, your connection to what is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the slacklining is like that physical, you're moving to stimulate the brain. And then the breathing is you're relaxed, but you're moving that diaphragm.
Yeah,
You're doing some moving. You're
cerebral spinal fluid. You're changing all the dynamics of the hormones in your body and the endocannabinoid system and the opioid system. You basically get high on your own supply.
It's true.
And that's the thing. We are like the greatest chemical production plant there is.
Yeah.
We just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And by connecting to ourselves, we learn. By disconnecting from the outside and reconnecting to the inside, you become what you are truly meant to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna do a lot of great things with that. Obviously, coming together. We're gonna be at the studio in Cleveland, April 24th and May 28th at 6 p.m. You should see those events. Being published and out there so that you can book them. Obviously, space is limited because we only have 11 Slack racks.
11 Slack stations at the moment.
Stations to bring, but I think we'll have more here coming soon. Obviously, Slack is going mobile, so we're going to be out there in the community. Obviously, you're going to see myself with the Positive Pineapple people.
We'll be out there with you.
Yeah, we're
slanging consciousness. That's what we're going to do.
And our goal, we're looking to go east, west, north, south. Yes. We're going to go all over the place. We're going to have events all over this summer at parks, at yoga studios, wherever. We're going to have some fun. All right, we're going to have some good times. What else do we have? What else can we close up with here?
I'll just say for Tony and Mary, and to the people listening right now, being positive isn't always the easiest task. There's lots of tools and ways to, get better at doing so and learn deeper about yourself that you can become more positive. So if you want to become a positive pineapple as well, definitely click on the links in the descriptions and get in there with Tony and Mary and learn some more positive pineapple people ways.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, great.
Yeah, we'll have links to Mitchel's music. We'll have links to the Positive Pineapple. We'll have some links to Slak CLE. Okay.
You create your world specifically. We'll put that on there since we mentioned it.
That's right. So all good, guys.
I have another friend I'd like to mention too. I'd like to throw a shout out about Casey McBride at Shaman's Way. He is an energy healer. He's a shamanic energy healer trained in the ancient art of Paco Acuna, which is actually from a tribe of people that live in the Andes Mountains.
Oh wow!
So he's an amazing guy. Will's met him. Mary knows him. He's healed already a few of our friends. So if you're looking for energetic healing, he's the guy to talk to. It's all about just accepting that sort of healing. I know it's challenging for the belief system of most people, but how do you know unless you give it a try? So
100%. Yeah, and I think to sum things up, right? The goal in life is to challenge yourself, right? And stay committed, right? Stay committed to challenging yourselves, right? Going to the polar plunges every Sunday at 1 p.m. wherever we're going to decide to continue to. I don't know if we're staying out in.
We have one at Hinckley Lake this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday, Hinckley Lake again this Sunday. We do move around. We'll probably move around. We've been hanging out at Hinckley a lot lately because it's a nice place, a nice egress to get into the water and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So but we're gonna do more. We're just gonna keep expanding just as it's going, and we're gonna keep trying. But yeah, if you want to come to a plunge and test out a plunge, a group breathwork and a plunge, you come out and join us on a Sunday. We post these events online and stuff. So
yeah, so awesome stuff. Stay challenging yourself and
seek discomfort. That's the thing. I don't mean to
breathe
bite from
through
yes
it.
theory, but that statement is just more true than I could ever imagine.
There's 100%.
Through your suffering, through your willingness to suffer, you will succeed.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, there's no doubt. If we think about our ancestors and the amount of challenges that they went through, astronomical. We live in a very comfortable society right now. And that comfortability, I guess,
has destimulated
us, right? So we can gain our power back through challenging and dedicating ourselves to challenging ourselves.
Absolutely.
And to people, real quick, who are turned off by the word suffering, I guess it's more of a learning how not to suffer. Suffering in life is like a Buddhist philosophy. Specifically, all suffering comes from resisting the
Exactly.
moment.
What I was just saying before, it's acceptance. You don't suffer if you accept.
Right.
If you accept your reality as it is and just ride the wave, go with the flow. Right.
Within balance, obviously don't jump into a fire or anything.
Well, you can if you want to, that's up to you, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's the test we don't want to go for.
You guys ever see the Buddha that lit himself on fire in the middle of the streets? Do you guys ever see that?
No.
So he was protesting something somewhere. I can't remember where it was. I just saw the picture where he was literally Indian style on the ground, threw gasoline on himself and lit himself on fire and just sat there meditating as he burned himself alive.
Wow.
Right? So
he's non-reactive. He
can do anything.
He accepted his reality as it is.
Yeah.
Do you see? That's a prime example. I'm not saying you should do the disclaimer. Do not try this.
Yes,
do not try this at home.
Do not light yourself on fire.
This is not for you. He's just an example of how extreme, how powerful you really are.
Yeah.
You are that powerful. And that's what we're here to try to help people understand is you are so much more powerful than you have been conditioned to believe.
100%.
Every one of us.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
But we're changing
alive,
that.
Can you imagine what you can do in life day to day if you can burn alive?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of scary.
Well, it's not.
Sorry.
You're perceiving it. As
Yeah.
You're being not accepting of your reality, Mitchell. That's
Yes,
okay.
I've got a lot to learn. I have a lot to learn for sure.
Yeah. So Mitchell, how old are you, Mitchell?
23.
All right, I'm 20. So I'm 39. Obviously,
I'm 144.
So Mitchell's he's a younger guy. So he already has this great mindset, right? And all he's doing again, like Tony would say, is he's filling in the gaps in his subconscious, and he's gonna grow and become stronger by doing this podcast, hanging around with the positive pineapple.
There's reasons for everything. Everything is part of our growth. As long as you pay attention to that and allow it to happen, you will keep going.
100%.
Awesome.
I love it.
Well, everybody, join us next time to keep growing with us. We can fill in each other's, gaps with learning. And if you want to be on the show, hit us up. Get on this show with us.
Yeah. We'll be releasing this one sometime, maybe today or tomorrow. I'm not sure when it's gonna happen.
Yeah, we've got to pick a day, like a good day once a week.
Day. Yeah, we'll pick a day. And then next week we're gonna potentially talk with a woman about astrology and how that works. So she's got like a doctorate or a master's. I apologize if I don't remember, but she's very, very well versed deeply into astrology and how it affects, as planets are aligned up a certain way and the planets a certain way, how it affects your energy. So when you understand that certain periods of the time or of the season or the year that certain planets are aligned, that your energy may be a certain way, now you can prepare yourself for that time as you flow through it. Okay, so you have an understanding of what's going on in the universe around you, right? So you become more aware of things. So it just heightens your ability to...
More modalities to increase your connectivity to the ether.
Yeah.
Boom.
So we'll talk to you guys later, and
Thank you so much for having us on. Breath is life. Breathe and believe.
And join us next week. We'll see ya.